Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. It's Wednesday. It's new review day here on the channel, and I've got Mr. Rick LaBonte is here to talk about some cool
So,
new releases. Rick, what's going on, man?
hi, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good,
Rick,
good, good.
Rick and I actually just talked not that long ago, not even, 12 hours ago, but you don't know
Yes,
that.
that's right. And we were just with the Curse of the Collector kind of series that I'm a part of. This is another example where you already have these albums, but when they got a new release about remaster, it's part of the curse for us to go get it. And I knew he could appreciate it because I we're both fans, and you may be a fan too. We're talking about the iconic Alice Cooper group, and they released this year a remaster of Killers and the remaster of Schools Out. So 71, 72. And so for the longest time, I had this, and I love these records. We don't even have to explain to everybody. It's pretty iconic. It's pretty well known that this is a creative peak for the Alice Cooper band, especially when they have Bob Ezrin as a producer helping out. He's actually another member of the band because he contributed in that well. And as they gel, they had a good workflow from Love It to Death all the way through for a series of albums. And so for the longest time, it was a treat for any fan like you and I when 2001, I believe, Billion Dollar Babies came out with a deluxe version of this remastered. Great. I mean, it's already ear candy experience, but they just enhanced it that much more, but included a live CD that was basically from a soundtrack from a film that they put out in 1974 called "Good to See You Again, Alice Cooper," and I have that video. It's got a lot of nonsense in between, comedy kind of thing, but then they show pieces of this concert in Texas, and it's awesome. What's great about this is that I loved it. I mean, I almost bought it just for the live thing. I didn't realize
I
that I'm
wouldn't you?
also
Yeah,
getting the album remastered, which does sound really nice.
because that
So
becomes the de facto live album from that era of the band, basically.
exactly, and you always wonder what it was like prior to that, because up to the date, "Welcome to the Nightmare" is the only footage I've seen, and I didn't get "Good to See You, Alice Cooper" to quite a few years after this. I finally hunted down, so the curiosity was always there. Nice to hear them do this stuff live. So they didn't disappoint again. Not only did they give you a nice package, with you open up and it gives you a nice liner note. And then inside they pull out the center, the center panel. There's like a book with all the information about it, and the surviving members talk about each track, what stood out in their memory, and it's nice to have them all talking about it, and so that's fantastic. And so, but the bonus stuff is the live concert that you have here, which never been released ever. And this one is a particular show from Puerto Rico, and is that one of those pop festivals where they get about an hour or something, and so they perform, and it's really great. But before I get into the track listing of the live stuff, because people are already familiar with the Killer track and as an album as itself, because they don't change anything. But I'm really impressed with the liner notes and what's a little special for us in Windsor because they mentioned the radio station CKLW, which is the AM radio at the time, that basically got Alice Cooper his big break. And it was a very famous um, woman. Her name is she's a Canadian music director of that, but her name is Rosalie Tremblay, and she's the one that took the chance and had the kind of the ear to give a band a step up by playing a song that she thought was, had a potential hit. 18 was one of those songs. She helped discover Bob Seger, which Bob Seger wrote a song about it, which is Rosalie, and I believe Thin Lizzy did a cover of that,
Yep.
Rosalie. And Aerosmith got their break from this woman. Why? Because in Windsor, the airplay goes all the way through Detroit, little piece of Illinois and Ohio, and some people pick it up, and before you know it, but they credited her in the station in both albums that if it wasn't for that woman putting that song 18, they wouldn't have hit the big way like they did. And it made them feel like they're Detroit own, even though they, belong to the world after that. So anyway, I thought that was great. But what's great also is the fact that they gave you some live photo shots of the period, and so you can almost picture with those photos what was going on that evening. So let me get into the set list, which is really cool. Be My Lover, You Drive Me Nervous, Yeah, 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 I'm 18, which is kind of a cool way, the way they build up I'm 18. They jam because Michael Bruce isn't playing the rhythm guitar, he's playing in the organ, and I believe in that part. And they build it up. Pretty interesting. Hollow of Flies, Is It My Body, Dead Babies, Killer, and A Long Way to Go, and then Under My Wheel. And then they added two extra bonus, just like you did in the Billion Dollar Babies, a different alternative version of the song that they didn't release on the mix, with You Drive Me Nervous and Under My Wheels, and which it's an interesting listen, actually. And what was also cool about this is that in this concert, School's Out isn't out yet. And even though they just perform pretty much the same set list for a while, they jam out what would be the beginning of School's Out. And I find it interesting later because as you get the School's Out record, again, they put a live album. It's almost the same set list, a little different because you get a kick-ass version of Long Way to Go. But in this particular version, they actually play Schools Out. Wait, where they jam it in this spot in this set list. So somewhere in a few months later, the only song they play on the Schools Out concert is Schools Out. So it's pretty much almost the same set list, but it's a different place. It's in Miami a few months later, and the band's a little more tighter. You hear, again, another great version of these songs. But again, go back to School's Out now. They give you again a whole book explaining how the whole idea of them picking each other's brain as they explain track to track why they did this. They're a big fan of the Bowie Boys. They're a big fan of a lot of the Little Rascals and the West Side Story. So they kind of threw all these ideas, and before you know it, they're acting out a play right in the studio, and they recording it. And so it's a really an interesting read when you think about them being pretty creative to do that. Even the story of how Schools Out would put out, the idea they used the nursery rhyme, or the kids, no more pencils, no more book, no more teacher, dirty look. They said that would be great. Let's bring kids in there. And Bob Ezrin would use that idea later on in Pink Floyd
Yep.
for Another Brick of Wall. But it was just a great story behind some of these things. So if you're a fan, you're gonna like the inside notes and reading what each bandmate that is survivors that could remember some of the things that they saw happen as that idea flesh out.
So I guess
So,
I need to get these.
oh yeah, the curse is real, but it's no curse. You're getting a bonus live. It's almost like a
Well, that's
treat
yeah,
because
that's yeah, yeah.
that's what's great about it. So
That
let
is
me,
always the hook for me, Rick. When they throw in, that's the
yeah,
reason why I bought all those Rush ones. It's like, so if it's got a live album in it, I'm tempted to go that route. So yeah.
right, and that's what I did. That was my motive. But let me be quite frank with everybody. If you love the album already, they just got that much better. I mean, everything's more clear. I don't know how it is. It's like it's almost the band performing right in your room. It's just that feels 3D. Everything seems to be more clarity. Not to say it wasn't a bad mixed record, but there are moments where there's so many things that happen. It's a little on a murky side in some of the stuff in Schools Out that I find. Or if you want to hear the sound effect of the fighting scene. There's so much going on. Well, you actually hear the separation so much better. I mean, you can picture everybody standing. Okay, Bruce is here. Smith is here. You can almost place everybody where they are as they perform right in your living room. So it is that much enhanced. It's almost worth it just for the remaster. But it's just so awesome that they threw a live performance in there and a good book read. So if you love this package, you're going to be just as impressed with these packages because they did a well thought out. And if you had to wait to 2023 to get it out, it's worth the wait because they did a fantastic job. And I don't think they're ripping off the others. Even Schools Out one, they give you 4 bonus tracks of songs that were potentially a version that could have been on there after their live album. But let me tell you this set list of the live concert. Very similar to the one I mentioned, but it's a little slightly different. Opens with Be My Lover, You Drive Me Nervous, Yeah, 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 18, Hell of a Fly, they're all the same. Dead Babies, Killer, Long Way to Go, School's Out right here. The only new song is School's Out, but they jammed it in that same spot in the concert that I was just talking about earlier. But they close it with Is It My Body? And it's epic because it's not just a 3 minute tune, it's 5, 7 minutes. They're dragging along to the clock tells them, get off the stage. There's something going on where Alice is using prop because they're just jamming some places where there's got to be something going on that's pretty
Oh
wild
yeah,
to
you
watch.
just can't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to use imagination. But like I said, the book shows you some stuff that they're doing that you kind of fill in the blank. Oh, must be the part where they put him in, hang him or whatever. So, what I wanted to mention as a bonus track is that they give you Schools Out single version, the guitar, Gutter Cats single version. A lot of matter is an alternate version, and then elected early take that didn't flesh out again. I remember they kind of bring that song back from another album. I think is it Pretty for You or Easy Action? There's a little hint of Killers in their riff in that album, and it's been uh, brought out in this record. And so some of these songs, you can hear the ideas in the first two albums actually came to something real in these albums when Bob Ezrin got their hands on it.
Cool.
So anyway, that's it, folks. If you, I don't need to say much more other than it's an awesome to get it. I already love these albums, and to hear it like this is fantastic. And to get the bonus stuff, you can't go wrong, folks. And it's not expensive either.
Yeah, most of these types of reissues are generally pretty affordable. So I think most people can find these anywhere that they buy their CDs online. Did they do vinyl reissues of these as
Oh
well?
yeah, I saw that. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I did.
So for depending on what your format of choice is, go ahead to your website of choice where you buy stuff, or maybe you have a local record store that sells stuff like this, and go check them out. It's again, the live stuff is the hook. I mean, it's I think
Yeah, it is.
mastered, but I think the live stuff from this era, anything from the original Alice Cooper group that you can hear live is that's the way to go. So cool.
Yeah, it is definitely a treasure for sure to add to your collection because the curse is real.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is.
Unfortunately. So I want to thank Rick for coming and sharing these with us and prompting me to probably go out and purchase them. That's the way it goes.
Oh yeah, you've
You and
done
I
enough
am
for
an
me. I
addict
got a
for
few
this.
albums on the way in the cart from the last week you did. So
Yeah,
what goes around comes around.
that's right. That's right. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you've checked these out, let us know what you think of them down in the comments below. Otherwise, happy hunting out there in the wild, shopping for your Alice Cooper remasters and bonus live stuff. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time.
All the damn time.
Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. So thank you in advance for your contributions there. And we'll see you next time. I think that'll, you might get one new one later on today. If not, it's just whether I can squeeze the Steve Lukather in yet. So that might happen next week. I'm not quite sure. But you might get it today. We'll see. Otherwise,
that's in the mail for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. It really is. It's basically basically a Toto album, just not
cool.
cool.
Oh, great. Great. I love it.
So I'll talk more about that in depth when I get to it. And tune in next week for more reviews here on What's Hot with Sea Tranquility Day Wednesday. And for Rick LaBonte, I am Pete Pardo. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow on the Monsters Den. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.